Hello, genealogists. This is Craig, and we begin our process of examining genealogical standards as found in the second edition revised of Genealogical Standards, which was produced by the Board for Certification of Genealogists. And this is where I caveat and say I do not represent the Board for the Certification of Genealogists. I am just an associate of the board. I'm not a trustee. I have never been a trustee. However, I believe firmly in the standards and what the Board for Certification of Genealogists means. You will hear this each time that we discuss a standard at the very beginning so that everybody is perfectly clear that you're not going to say, but Craig Scott said. All I'm going to give you is my opinion on the matter, and it's worth about squat. And we'll leave it at that. Hello, genealogist. It's Craig. And here we begin on standards for documentation. Standards for documenting. I had to make sure I say the right words, like in Genealogy Standards, in talking about standards for documenting. Today we're going to talk about standard number 7, shortcuts. Number 7. Shortcuts. Once they cite a source completely, genealogists may use a short form citation or IBID when appropriate, or refer back to a complete citation documenting the source of a statement, fact, image, or conclusion in the same finished product or in the same section of a finished product. See glossary for definition of document, verb, image, and short form citation. I don't quite know how to respond to this one, largely because unless it's just gives us as genealogists permission to use or not use the Chicago Manual of Style and what the Chicago Manual of Style has to say. I personally don't like using shortcuts. I don't like using IBID or OPSIT or anything like that because of how much control I have over a document after it leaves my hands and ends up in the hands of an editor. Because footnotes get rearranged, they move from page to page, they might get out of order, and that's just difficult to deal with. So my recommendation is that if you're going to do footnotes, and you are, that your footnotes be in such a way that they could stand alone by themselves without reference to something else. Now remember that that's not in violation of this standard, because this standard says genealogists may use. My recommendation is that you not use. Although having said that, I just wrote an article for NGS Magazine where I in fact did use IBID. But I just don't think it's a good idea. And I'm not sure why I did it, except I was in a hurry. Sometimes you use shortcuts when you're in a hurry. And sometimes that will come back to bite you. So yes, you may use citation shortcuts. I just don't recommend it. But just because I don't recommend it doesn't mean I occasionally don't follow my own recommendation. And that's all I have to say about that. So this is Craig. This has been Just Genealogy, and a short one because it's a shortcut. See you tomorrow.